Hello. The Chancellor's procession is beginning. Let us kindly take our seats, please. And they will be led by a dancing troupe, the Umuginesa. And when they enter the quadrangle, we shall ask you to stand up and welcome them with a clap. Father. So you can already hear the dancing. That's the Chancellor's procession, led by the Umugenesa Cultural Troupe. She told me. I will be here. Hold on. us stand, please, to welcome the Chancellor's procession. Thank you very much. We shall now begin with the different anthems that we have prepared for the occasion. Standing. May I now invite the Deputy Vice Chancellor to invite the Chancellor to constitute this assembly into the fourth congregation for the installation of the Vice Chancellor of Uganda Matters University.
Your Lordship, the Chancellor, I invite you to constitute this assembly into the fourth congregation for installation of the Vice-Chancellor of Uganda Matters University.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I constitute this assembly into the fourth congregation for installation of the Vice-Chancellor of Uganda Matters University.
Thank you very much, Chancellor. You can now take your seats. The Chancellor of Uganda Matters University, the Right Reverend Joseph Anthony Ziwa, and Bishop of Kiinda Mityana Diocese, Your Grace, Most Reverend Paul Semogerere, Patron of Uganda Matters University, and Archbishop of Kampala Archdiocese, Your Lordship, Right Reverend Santos Laino Wanok, Chairman of University Council, Governing Council, Uganda Matters University, and Bishop of Lira Diocese. Our special guest today, Your Excellency, Augustine Kasuja, Archbishop Augustine Kasuja, Senior Diplomat and retired Apostolic Nuncio to Belgium. You're most welcome. The incoming Vice-Chancellor, Professor Patrick Edwin Chamanywa, the outgoing Vice-Chancellor, Professor John Chrysostom Maviri, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, and the management team of Uganda Matters University, distinguished and invited guests, the academic, administrative, and support staff of Uganda Matters University, dear students of Uganda Matters University, dear friends and well-wishers of Uganda Matters University, those here present, and the many more that are following this event live on different channels. Today, the 17th of March, 2022, is a special day in the life of Uganda Matters University community. We are here to witness and celebrate the installation of the fourth Vice-Chancellor of Uganda Matters University, Professor Patrick Edwin Chamanywa. The installation will be preceded by the farewell address of the former Vice-Chancellor, Professor John Chrysostom Maviri, and the handing over of the university insignia and tools of authority back to the Chancellor of the university. The order of installation is clearly spelled out in the installation booklet that we have. At the appropriate time, the new Vice-Chancellor will be called upon by the Registrar to stand before the Chancellor. The Chancellor will read the letter of appointment of Professor Patrick Chamanywa as the fourth Vice-Chancellor of Uganda Matters University. The Chancellor, assisted by the outgoing Vice-Chancellor, will robe the Vice-Chancellor with the official regalia of the Chief Executive Officer of this institution, the Vice-Chancellor. After the dressing, the Chancellor will hand the Vice-Chancellor instruments of authority, and these are the following, and they need a little explanation. He will hand him the mace that we see in front of us here. That is a symbol of university scholarship and integrity, used at all ceremonial occasions to signify importance of such occasions. And it also symbolizes the university's governing authority. The key that is also in front of us, this does not need much explanation, but it is the key to the office of the Vice Chancellor, and by extension to all offices of Uganda Matters University. The third will be the University Charter. That's an official document from the President of the Republic of Uganda that officially recognizes Uganda Matters University as a university in its own right. And finally, the Chancellor will hand the new Vice Chancellor the university seal. Now, the seal is the university's identity, reserved as a formal insignia for documents of institutional and legal importance. We see it on our certificates, on diplomas, on transcripts, and on other official documents of the university. Thereafter, the new Vice Chancellor will take the oath of office. Once he has taken the oath of office, he will take his official seat as the fourth Vice Chancellor of Uganda Matters University. After that, he will address the congregation. I will tell you more as we go along. I'd like, in a special way, to recognize the presence of the media here on this occasion. First of all, I'd like to announce that this event is live on Zoom and on YouTube. It is also live on Radio 1, Bukede TV, BBS TV, NBS TV, New Vision. It is also on KFM, Buama FM, Radio Budu, UBC TV, and Radio 1. So it's on all important media channels. We want to thank in a special way the media people for being here. We value very much marketing ourselves, and thank you for being here today, and we know you're going to do a good job for us. I will announce the rest of the proceedings as we go along. I'd like now to invite the outgoing VC, Professor John Chrysostom Maviri, to come forward and give his farewell address. Professor Maviri, welcome.
It is my pleasure to salute Your Grace the Patron, my Lord Chancellor, the ordinaries present, governing council members, management, staff, and students, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate my successor, Professor Patrick Chamanywa, upon his acceptance of office, and I would like to wish him all the best with God's blessings. And I also congratulate you on your birthday and Patron Saint's Day. Secondly, I congratulate Most Reverend Pose Mogerere for his elevation to the See of Kampala and effectively becoming the third patron of Uganda Matters University. He has been a member of council and I think he's coming to familiar territory. So there's nothing strange there, but you have changed the roles. In the same vein, I would like to also congratulate Dr. Christopher Mukidi. Christopher Mukidi. Mukidi, for having assumed the office of Deputy Vice Chancellor, combining the previous two offices of Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration and Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic. I would like to wish you all the best, my brother. Your Grace the Patron, my Lord Chancellor, given the fact that I already handed over my office to an acting Vice Chancellor already on the 1st of July 2021, allow me to make just a few remarks of like what I termed word of thanks, so that I remain relevant. I thank the Almighty God for having given me the wisdom to serve and to make a contribution to the growth of this prestigious institution. I am satisfied that with God's help, I'm handing over the university alive and on track to achieve its mission, objectives, and goals within the trajectory of Catholic identity. I am very, very, very much satisfied with that, and I thank God for that. Secondly, I would like to thank the Uganda Episcopal Conference for having given me the opportunity to serve. I think it is a rare opportunity for me to be trusted with this task of steering the Uganda Matters University. I thank you very much, and I would like to mention that the chairman of the conference has always been there for us. The Secretary General is a familiar face on this campus, but not only on this campus, we have been bothering a lot to push through the needs of the university to the agenda of the Uganda Episcopal Conference. So, Monsignor Kauta, thank you very much for that. Thank you. I thank the Chancellor for always being available to attend to the university schedules and matters that require his attention. I am very, very happy about that, and it has been a pleasure working with you. Although it has been for a short time, as we have been informed that the lockdown 2 years. But I would like to inform the congregation that within those 2 years, he has been working behind the curtains, and he has always been active. So I thank the Governing Council under the chairmanship of my Lord Bishop Wanok, who has also given us the sermon today. I thank you very much, Governing Council, for moving along with me and also with the university in its development. I thank management, with whom we carried the day-to-day pros and the pros of the university. I always found solace in your unity of purpose and solidarity. Please, management, keep it up. Move together. I thank the Senate for always being available to uphold high standards in our programs, updating them, and also developing new programs. A lot of this has been done free of charge, and I would like that this continues. I thank staff. I think that tent is like staff, if I'm not mistaken. They look to be like the majority who are here. Staff, I would like to thank you for having embraced the spirit of St. Charles Lwanga, especially during the lockdown of the COVID pandemic. I don't want to go into the stories of what happened, but after the lockdown, staff determined that we continue to give service to the students, especially that it was a very uncertain period. And therefore, we ventured to teach online. We used to have meetings on Zoom, and we also intensified our distance learning mode. And all this has been done with the cooperation of staff. But not only cooperation, but also sacrifice in the spirit of St. Charles Lwanga. My successor will get to number this spirit, I think. It's a very interesting spirit. I found it, and it helped me through. Because during the lockdown, staff was not being paid. And they did a wonderful work of sacrificing, keeping in touch with the students. And I'm very happy that we managed to have our graduations on schedule. And there's no backlog, I suppose. There's no backlog on our graduation. So thank you very much, staff. And I'll hold you in my heart. I have to mention, in a special way, Madame Lucy Ntimba. This one, if I was able to do anything, she was my brain. She kept my memory. She made sure I'm in the right place at the right time. And she checked on me almost every hour. So I cannot really but thank her for such a commitment, such a great help that made the office of the Vice Chancellor up to date. So Madame Ntimba, I don't know whether she's around. She's where? Ah, yes. Thank you very much. I now thank the students for upholding the ideals of the university and moving within that. You have made the university proud, because everyone is asking, how do you do it at Uganda Martyrs University? Given the practices that may be occurring on other campuses. How do you do it at Uganda Martyrs University? I think it is because of the ideals that have sunk into the heart of the student population. And I would like to thank you students for that. You have maintained order, peace, and progress. Some students started complaining that there's too much work here. Our friends don't have as much, and what? But they kept working. And I think that is great. So students, give yourself another clap, because really you have done it. I want to thank the Alumni Association for having worked so well with management to revive and energize the alumni of Uganda Martyrs University. I think Mr. Chibuka Ambrose is here. The chairperson, yes, of the Alumni Association. Thank you very much, and please keep it up. The alumni are a great asset to the university. And I was informed that I effectively become also a member of the alumni. And I humbly accept. So if you have meetings events and you have activities, you can let me know. I participate as much as I can. I'd like to thank the neighbors for their cordial relationship with Uganda Matters University. We have a good neighborhood. I would like to mention maybe two entities that are very close to the university. One of them is the parish, Nkozi Parish, Catholic Parish, and the parish priest is always here. I think it's great that you give us the environment which is so good. And then the Nkozi Hospital. Nkozi Hospital has left their doors open to us in case of any challenges. And Dr. Crescent, the medical director, and the others, I would like to thank you very much. Please keep up that relationship. And all the neighbors around here, you have given us a wonderful environment. And that environment is absolutely needed for the university to function. With that litany of thank you, I would like to conclude and say that you are dear to my heart. Uganda Matters University has become part of my history. And certainly, I will not erase you from my heart. I will continue to associate with the university and be available for any services that may be required of me. And I think as I leave this podium, it will not be the last time. In virtute et sapientia duc mundum.
Thank you very much, Professor Mavira. Another round of applause, please. Thank you for your services, dedicated services to Uganda Matters University. Before I call upon the next person to speak, I'd like to recognize the following distinguished guests among us. Monsignor John Baptist Kauta, Secretary General, Uganda Episcopal Conference, most welcome. Professor Vincent Bajire, Vice Chairperson, UMU Governing Council and UMU Alumnus. Professor, you're most welcome. Professor John Francis Mujisha, Vice Chancellor, Cavendish University. Most welcome, Professor. Brother Peter Kazekulia is a former member of UMU Governing Council from the Brothers of Christian Instruction. Most welcome. Brother Cassio Aizire, member of the Governing Council, Uganda Matters University. Welcome, brother. Professor Mary, representative from Uganda Management Institute. Most welcome, Professor. Of course, Mrs. Elizabeth Chamanywa, the VC's wife. Elizabeth, you're most welcome to UMU family and the children. Are they here also? Yes, please. Wonderful and most welcome. Engineer Patrick Sembajo, Managing Director, BBS TV. Engineer, most welcome and thank you so much for the wonderful services. Mr. Ambrose Chibuka, you know him very well. He's the alumni president. Mr. Chibuka, welcome. Mr. Michael Wanyama, Higher Education Students Financing Board. Thank you for coming. Dr. Dewo Mujisha from the International University of East Africa. Welcome, thank you. And Ms. Evelyn Ayot, Registrar Clerk to the International University UMU Alumni. Thank you and welcome. Mr. Francis Musoke, RTI International. Thank you. Ms. Nasaka Lilian from Centenary Bank. Kayabwe. This is our neighbor. Manager, where are you? Welcome. Mr. Thomas Mugono, Office of the Mayor of Kayabwe Town. Again, these are local leaders. Most welcome to Uganda Matters University. Officer Namara Justus, OC Kayabwe. Afande, welcome. Mr. Zedi Kasule, the Mayor of Kayabwe. Welcome. Dr. Grace Namayanja from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Ah, there she is. Thank you and welcome. Dr. Justin Nakate Bukenya, lecturer, Makerere University. Doctor, you're most welcome. Thank you. I'd like to announce also that just in front of us at the end, we have a tent, a few tents, 3 tents, but they are all related. You have the University Health Clinic, along with a counseling center, in conjunction with Nkozi Hospital. In case of, if you don't feel well, please approach these 3 tents. If you need any counseling services or any testing, we have people, yes, that can happen. We have people ready to help you. I'd like also to welcome Professor George Nasinyama, the Vice Chancellor of UNICAF University. Professor, you're most welcome. Dr. Justin Bukenya, I think I already mentioned her, yes? And yeah, Grace also I did. Thank you. So let me now call upon the student representative, His Excellency Cassius, yes, David Cassius, to come and give a vote of thanks to the former Vice Chancellor. Your Excellency, sir.
Our dear patron, Archbishop Paul Semogere, the Chancellor, the Right Reverend Anthony Ziwa, the Chairperson of Governing Council, the Right Reverend Sanctus Lino Wanok, the outgoing Vice Chancellor, Reverend Professor John Chrysostom Maviri, the incoming Vice Chancellor, Professor Edwin Patrick Chamanywa, members of Governing Council, members of management, staff and students, and our distinguished guests. Welcome to this special occasion at this special university. My name is Chisache Cassius David, and I'm the 27th Students' Union President of Uganda Matters University. Many great men and women have walked these halls, have graced this stage, and left a mark on Uganda Matters University. We have been privileged to receive the creme de la creme from all walks of life. We have been truly blessed. Our testament to these blessings is in the years that Reverend Professor John Chrysostom Maviri shared with us as our Vice Chancellor. He brought certain positivity around him, maybe because of his priestly touch, and this had a ripple effect on the people around him. His works stretched as far as his priesthood, his role as a parent and as our Vice Chancellor. From the onset, you can feel the depth of character of Father Maviri. He's a man with a calm demeanor and stance. This can clearly be seen in the poise exuded when he gives speeches. And I'm lucky to have been among the many that have witnessed this firsthand. Despite the individual accomplishments, Professor Maviri has remained grounded to his roots of humility. In his time as Vice-Chancellor, he traversed the comfort of his office. He sought out to engage with the community, and his touch was felt across all sectors. As he has mentioned, the Nkozi Parish, the Nkozi Hospital, to mention but a few, all of these felt the touch of Professor Maviri. He also built close bonds with nearby parishes like Bulo, where he spent most of his Sunday masses. He had laid a stable network among the community within and in beyond Nkozi. He will surely be missed by them. On the side of the university, Father Maviri always ensured that there was progress to be made, and indeed there was. Among these innovations included the introduction of the half bursary scheme that came after the Silver Jubilee. These bursaries have helped the university attract more students to its campuses and have steadily made UMU more affordable for more families. Father Maviri, we thank you so much for those efforts. Again, the sports scholarship program was introduced, which has helped the university facilitate its steady rise in the university sports field. In this time, we have seen the basketball team grow from strength to strength. The football team emerged champions in 2017 in the University Football League, and our rugby team has made it on the continental level, peaking as the second best university rugby team in Africa. That is a sign of the progressive nature of Father Maviri's tenure. As another way of reaching out to more students, we did see the introduction of new academic programs. Father Maviri spearheaded the introduction of new courses like the Bachelors of Laws, Bachelor of Fine Art, and, to mention a few, including the Bachelor of Journalism and Mass Communication, of which I am a proud product of. This is a good achievement that we thank Father for working on. We also saw that in his tenure, Father Maviri oversaw the increase of the religious as students in all our campuses. This created a sort of moral refinement amongst the students, hence why we didn't see any serious student unrests around this time. Father Maviri has hinted on it. There's a certain energy around Uganda Matters University students, and it does not only stop here. Even when we go outside these campus walls here, you can clearly see the difference between a student from UMU and a student from elsewhere. So the students have to be very proud of that. He did indeed achieve a lot more than this, and we celebrate it all. Our deepest prayers are that all these amazing works are grown, and at the very least, that they are maintained by the new management team now led by Professor Patrick Chamanyo. We hope the university grows to greater heights. Father Maviri did not only have an impact on the students, he also had a firm grip on the proper direction of the development on the side of the staff. He always tried to provide an encouraging voice to them, especially in times of crisis. He many times acted as the peacemaker and sometimes as the parent in situations that demanded of him to be. Another testament of the depth of his character. When the pandemic first hit, his tools as a leader were tested to their strength. He sailed the ship in such uncertain times. During this time, Father Maviri played a starring role in liaising with his staff to ensure that studies still go on, and UMU became among the very first universities to go fully online in the lockdown. He has hinted on the sacrifices that the staff and the whole university had to make, and that's a testament also to what we demand of ourselves as people that are associated with Uganda Matters University. The desire to be better, the willingness to sacrifice for a better good. Today, we are proud to see that while other universities went silent and cold, Uganda Matters University, under the leadership of Father Maviri, kept moving forward. We really appreciate that, Father. On the side of the alumni, we can all say that the first pieces of the firewood that are lighting the fire now were carried in the tenure of Father Maviri. He played a vital role in bridging the once shaky path between the university and the alumni, and forged a strong relationship that is now yielding fruit. Today, the alumni have embarked on a number of projects for the university, including the construction of the law block that I'm sure all of you have passed by. This shows that the alumni has a certain power to it now, a power that was sparked off by Father Maviri, and we appreciate his role in all of this. Then we have the student leadership, the UMUSU. Father Maviri always kept his doors open for any of the student leaders to share their input on how to better the university. As the last union president under his tenure as vice chancellor, I am fortunate that I was part of the last students' body to be on the receiving end of countless words of wisdom from Reverend Father Maviri. I remember when I came in my year one, I was a first-year student of journalism. In the first month, we sought out the vice chancellor, and he did not hesitate, he did not limit us. In the first month, before even knowing our administrator, before knowing our lecturers, we were already meeting the vice chancellor. And he already gave us that warm feeling that, you know what, everyone is welcome to his office. Another sign of humility that he had as a man. In the end, Reverend Father John Chrysostom Maviri led the university with great abilities from his background in the devotion to the church and the academic world. His touch was not only felt here, it was felt in all other campuses. Nkozi, Rubaga, Masaka, Kabale, Mbale, Fort Poto, Ngeta, all these campuses that are here today can lay testament to the service that he made to Uganda Matters University. As we celebrate him today, Uganda Matters University is very much proud to have been part of this service. We can attest to the stable Catholic foundation that Father has enriched himself and the surroundings with. As we appreciate our Vice Chancellor Emeritus for his great work for UMU, let us treasure him while he's still around with us. As Father begins his new journey, he can look forward to it with renewed resolve and faith. Whilst he undertakes these new ventures, he can rest assured that Uganda Matters University, its staff, the students, the community, and the entire family will be with him every step of the way. Father Maviri, UMU is your home, so you're always welcome back to lay more bricks of achievements. UMU loves you as you have loved us. Thank you for everything, and God bless you. In virtue and wisdom, lead the world.
Thank you very much, Cassius, for that wonderful speech. Once again, the health team is announcing that they have first aid, they have testing for HIV and counseling, and they say please make an effort to visit them. Thank you. May I now invite an entertainment team to come forward and give us a break of entertainment. This is one of UMU's cultural troops. So let's follow what they have to present to us.
Abana bakolo besigo, abataka banyemego. 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 Abana bakolo besigo.
Thank you very much. was a wonderful performance. Thank you, Dr. True.
Chancellor, Reverend Professor John Chrysostom Maviri, as you have heard, served Uganda Martyrs University as the third Vice Chancellor from 2015 to 2021. At this moment, Your Lordship, the Chancellor, allow me to invite Reverend Professor John Chrysostom Maviri, the outgoing Vice Chancellor, to hand over the gown, the cap, and other instruments of power to you, the Chancellor. Professor Maviri.
Uganda Episcopal Conference on the 10th November 2021, addressed to Professor Patrick Edwin Chamanywa, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Kampala International University, Eastern Campus, PO Box 71, Bushenyi, Uganda. Dear Professor Chamanywa, reference, appointment as Vice Chancellor of Uganda Martyrs University. Following the decision of the recent concluded plenary of this month, November 2021, the the members of the Uganda Episcopal Conference agreed to appoint you as the 4th Vice-Chancellor of Uganda Martyrs University. You are hereby appointed for a period of 5 years with effect from the 15th November 2021, renewable on a mutual consent between the conference and you. As a Vice-Chancellor, you are directly responsible to the Uganda Episcopal Conference as is spelled out in the University Charter and the statutes. Your privileges therein spelled. Your contract with the terms and conditions of service will be availed to you by the Director, Human Resources of Uganda Martyrs University for your signature before you assume office as a Vice-Chancellor. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate you and wish you success. Chairman of the Uganda Episcopal Conference and Bishop of the Diocese.
Thank you very much, Chancellor. So that was the letter of appointment from the Episcopal Conference and signed by the Chairman of the Episcopal Conference, the Right Reverend Anthony Joseph Siwa, the Bishop also of Kinda-Mitiana Diocese. I'd like now to call upon the Deputy Vice-Chancellor to come forward and invite Professor Vincent Bagire to offer a laudatio of Professor Patrick Chamanywa. A laudatio is a speech, a citation, telling us important things about our new Vice-Chancellor, Professor Bagire. Rather, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor before.
Thank you very much, the MC. Professor Vincent Bagire is an alumnus of Uganda Martyrs University. He's a member of the Uganda Martyrs University Governing Council, and is also the Vice Chairperson of the University Council. And it is in that capacity, as the Vice Chairperson of Council, that is going to carry out the next activity. May I now invite Professor Vincent Bagire to come forward and carry out that task.
Thank you very much, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Your Grace, the Patron, my Lord, the Chancellor, my Lord, the Chairman of Council, dear members of the congregation, my task is a simple one, to introduce to you the person of Patrick Edwin Chamanywa, here standing before you. I engaged him to give me a very brief write-up about himself, and that brief came to 28 pages. I sat down myself and brought it to 10 pages. But here I stand to give possibly half of the 10 pages. Edwin was born on March 17th, 1972. Today is March 17th. We celebrate his birthday in the first place. At a later moment, I hope the choir will lead us in that rendition. He's a Ugandan, married with children. Patrick is a full professor of surgery. He's a researcher, educationist, academic leader, an active global health education advocate. Professor Chamanywa holds an MBA, a Master of Business Administration in Leadership of Innovation and Change from York St. John University in England, and this has enhanced his knowledge and skills for change management and innovative leadership. He completed general medical training and surgical specialist training at Mackay University in Uganda. Additionally, he holds a master's degree in public health from the Nuffield Center for International Health and Development, University of Leeds. He is a fellow of the Higher Education Academy of the United Kingdom and a founding fellow of the College of Surgeons of East Central and Southern Africa. He has held a number of leadership positions and responsibilities in the last 20 years, serving as Deputy Vice Chancellor of Kampala International University Western Campus, and in which he leveraged a lot of change and innovation. His leadership indeed transformed that unit, and it became one of the best in the country, rising from 7th in 2015 to 3rd best in the country in 2020. Prior to that achievement, as CEO, Professor Kyamanywa served as Vice Dean and later Dean of the School of Medicine and Pharmacy at the National University of Rwanda from 2009 to 2015. In January 2015, it was during that time, in January 2015, that he was promoted to full professorship of surgery and appointed acting principal of the College of Medicine and Health Sciences at the University of Rwanda. There he played a big role in transformation, in grants, in winning a lot of faculty and the commitment of the school, and they transformed the medical, dental, and nursing schools and linked them to high-level partnerships in the United States. Skills and technical expertise. In Professor Kyamanywa, we shall see a focused, results-oriented person, strategic innovative thinker, a team player, and transformation leader. He takes much interest in working in teams. Driven by this desire to create positive change, he will work towards enabling people to achieve their full potential. He desires excellence in teaching and healing as his core passions. As a seasoned university leader, Professor Kyamanywa brings on board several skills, competencies in the areas of education, leadership, business, human resource, financial management, program implementation, communication, teaching, research, and academia. As mentioned already, in his previous appointments, he has worked as Vice Chancellor at Uganda Matters University for the past few months, prior to which he worked as Deputy Vice Chancellor, as Dean, as Executive Director, as full Professor of Surgery, as the Acting Principal, and as Dean, School of Medicine and Pharmacy, as Acting Dean, as Vice Dean, as Associate Professor, as Lecturer, and various other lower rank positions in the academic ranks. Honorary appointments. Professor Kyamanywa is a member of the German ENT Surgeons Association from 2015 to date. He is a member of the Clinical Professors of Surgery from 2011 to date in New Orleans, USA. Medical experience. He has been the co-chairperson of the Canadian Network for International Surgery. He is a clinical head, Department of Surgery, University Teaching Hospital, Butare, Deputy Medical Director, Mayanja Memorial Hospital, Director, Essential Surgical Skills Training, Department of Surgery, Faculty of Medicine, Imbara University of Science and Technology, Department Exchange Program Coordinator, Faculty of Medicine, Imbara University of Science and Technology, Trauma Team Coordinator, Medical Officer, Host Coordinator, Senior House Officer, Deputy District Director of Health Services, Mukono District, where he was in 1998 to 1999. He was a medical superintendent of St. Francis Mission Hospital, Ngokonjeru, 1997 to 99. He was also a medical officer at Koro General Hospital, Kampala, Uganda. He also was an intern doctor, as expected, at Murago National Referral and Teaching Hospital, 1996 to 1997. Committee membership and advisement. Professor Patrick Edwin Chamanywa is a member of the COVID-19 case management pillar. He has been a member of the COVID-19 case management pillar from July 2020, when it was at the peak, to December 2021 with the Ministry of Health. He is and has been a board member, Brown Health Care International. He has been a reviewer, Injury Journal, reviewer, Annals of African Surgery, a reviewer, BMC Medical Education. Most of these journals are indexed by Esvaya, and in academia, this is a high top desired publication unit. He has been a member of the editorial board, East and Central African Journal, and a member of the East African Health Research Journal. He has been a member of the Scientific Committee of COSESI, a member of the University Council, Kampala International University, examiner and member, Curriculum Development Committee, member, reviewer, the list is very long. Your Grace, the patron. He has been external reviewer and auditor with the Council of Higher Education, and he continues to be co-chair African Canadian Committee on Essential Surgical Skills and a member Rwanda Surgical Society. I've already mentioned education. He holds a Master of Business Administration, a Fellow of the Higher Education Academy of the United Kingdom, and a Master of Public Health, UK University of Leeds, Master of Medicine, Mackay University, and a Diploma in Business Administration, Human Resources Management with distinction from Jersey in the UK. He holds the Bachelor of Medicine and the Bachelor of Surgery as the foundation courses. Certifications. Patrick Edwin Chamanywa is certified by the Postgraduate Certificate in Academic Practice, UK, Advanced Trauma Life Support, Blackpool, England, Trauma Life Support, Murago Hospital, and Strategic Planning, Uganda Institutional Capacity Building Project, and Integrated Management of Childhood Illness of the Ministry of Health, Uganda. Advanced Training and Awards, Systematic Reviews and Meta-Analysis, 2021, Health and Migration, Editorial Journal Processes in various international accredited academic journals. The list of publications is quite very long and very applauding to our ears, if I went through. Curriculum and program development experience. He has participated as chairperson, as member of various committees that did curriculum and program development experience at Kampala International University, the University of Rwanda, the former National University of Rwanda, and different other institutions abroad. For example, contributor to epidemiology module for health families training program by the Health Foundation in Netherlands, the guest contributor and curriculum reviewer with the Global Surgery Online, British Columbia, Canada, and several others. Research. From October 2013 to date, he has been a publisher, grant writer, and won several prestigious grants. I'll mention a few. October 2013, he was a co-principal investigator and won 59,000 euro in a project on collaboration for evidence-based healthcare and public health in Africa. In 2012, as principal investigator, he won a grant worth 600,000 euro, which was focused on high quality research and sustainable research capacity building in support of training for sub-Saharan Africa. In August 2011, as principal supervisor and investigator, he won several grants, the details of which I will not go through. April 2020, he won $30,000 US as principal investigator on an evaluation of WHO Trauma Care Checklist Quality Improvement Pilot Program. Publications. He has, up to date, had 78 publications in international renowned journals. He has made 29 presentations and keynote lectures at international reputed conferences. He has also written various abstracts published by international media. Other academic roles: has been a consultant and team leader with the National Council of Higher Education, external examiner and program evaluation and auditor with the National Council of Higher Education. You may think this person is always in books. He's not. Hobbies and interests. Patrick Edwin Chamanywa loves sports, lawn tennis and fitness training. He loves traveling, especially cross-country driving and nature walks. He also enjoys reading motivational books. Languages. He's fluent in 2 mother tongues, Luganda and Runyoro Runyakitara. He's fluent in English. He has reading and best spoken skills in French and German, and best speaking and best writing skills in Kiswahili and Kinyarwanda. Finally, Your Grace, the patron. You may think such a person has no one to go to ask details. He has referees as well. Professor Ignatius Kakande, Uganda Matters University School of Medicine and Professor of Surgery, St. Francis Hospital in Zambia, is one of his referees. Associate Professor David Kiria, Professor of Surgery, Mbaye University of Science and Technology. And Professor Philip Cotton, Head Scholarship Program, MasterCard Foundation. Your Grace, the patron, my Lord, the Chancellor, this is the person of Patrick Edwin Chamanywa, here before you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Bagire, for that very highly summarized presentation of our new Vice Chancellor. Shortly, the new Vice Chancellor will be handed the instruments of authority that Professor John Maviri earlier on handed back to the Chancellor. The first of these will be robing him, giving him the right regalia as the Vice Chancellor, Uganda Matters University. The Chancellor will be assisted by Professor Maviri in this exercise. So he has a new gown and a new cap for the Vice Chancellor. Now the cap is not a very short Vice Chancellor. Congratulations, Vice Chancellor. Now the instruments of authority, the mace first. You receive the mace. I have already explained the symbolism of these instruments. Thank you. The key of the university. Thank you. The charter of Uganda Matters University. Thank you. And finally, the university seal. The word of God, I'm sorry. Thank you. And the university seal. Thank you very much, Chancellor, for this great service. Shortly now, the Vice Chancellor will take the oath of office.
I, Professor Patrick Edwin Chamanywa, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and diligently discharge the duties of the office of the Vice Chancellor of Uganda Matters University and will, to the best of my ability, uphold, preserve, protect, and defend Uganda Matters University values, that I will abide by the guidance of the Uganda Episcopal Conference, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God.
Congratulations, Vice Chancellor Patrick Chamanywa. The Vice Chancellor will now take his seat officially as Vice Chancellor of Uganda Matters University. Next to the Chancellor, on the right side of the Chancellor, please. Congratulations once again, Professor Chamanywa. And now Professor Mabiri takes the place that was occupied by Professor Chamanywa. Thank you. I'd like to recognize the presence of someone who has ensured the security of this place all along. That is Officer George Mugisha, the OC of Ngozi here. He's our neighbor. Thank you for the wonderful service. I also want to recognize the presence of people who have traveled from different campuses. I'm told there are a few from Masaka and from Rubaga especially. If there are any others from elsewhere, you're most welcome, and we thank you for making the effort. They have mentioned a number of things about Professor Chamanywa, and we know, we have learned that there is a piece of music that he loves. So I'd like to ask the team here, while he relaxes before he speaks to us, to come forward and present one piece that is most favorite to him, and after that, after his speech, then he will present a second one. Thank you. Jasmine, please.
flows like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. Oh, I'm gonna see of the goodness of God. Oh Lord, oh, I'm gonna see of the goodness of God. Oh Lord, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna see of the goodness of God. Oh Lord, oh, I'm gonna see of the goodness of God. Oh Lord, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna see of the goodness of God. Oh Lord, oh, I'm gonna your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Sing yes, your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Yes, your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Through my life you have been faithful. Through my life you have been so, so good. Yeah. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna see all the goodness of God.
Thank you very much. The applause says it all. We will give the next presentation after the speech of the Vice Chancellor. I'd like to ask the press next time, the next presentation, kindly bear in mind the people who are behind you. They are not seeing, and kindly position yourselves in a better way so that as many people as possible can follow what is being presented. I'd like now to ask the registrar to come forward and invite the Vice Chancellor to give his acceptance speech.
Thank you, MC. Your Lordship, the Chancellor, allow me once again to invite the fourth Vice Chancellor of Uganda Matters University, Professor Patrick Edwin Chamanya, to deliver his acceptance speech.
God is good, and all the time, and that's his nature. Good afternoon, honorable guests. Our patron, the Most Reverend Paul Semogelele, the Archbishop of Kampala Diocese. Our Chancellor, the Right Reverend Anthony Zwa, Bishop of Midana Diocese. and the chairman of the Uganda Episcopal Conference, the chairman of the Governing Council, Uganda Matters University, Right Reverend Sanctus Lino Wano, Bishop of Lira Diocese, the Executive Secretary of the Uganda Episcopal Conference, Monsignor John Kauta, Your Excellency, the Apostolic Nuncio, Right Reverend Archbishop Aswidja, Your Graces and ordinaries here present, members of the University Council, former Vice Chancellors of Uganda Matters University, represented here by none other than Professor John Chrysostom Maviri, the Vice Chancellors from sister universities and representatives from sister universities here present, as has been already introduced, members of the central government, members of the local governments, the Executive Director of the Higher Education Scholarship Fund, Dr. Michael Wanyama, representatives of government and professional regulatory bodies, donors and partners, fellow staff, the alumni of the Uganda Matters University, the union president, and the students of the Uganda Matters University, members of the media, my dear wife and children, my dear mother, brothers and sisters, and friends, relatives, distinguished guests viewing us online, ladies and gentlemen. I am greatly honored by your presence, both physical and virtual, at this landmark occasion in my life and in the life of Uganda Matters University. Thank you for being here. The Lord is my strength and my shield. In him my heart trusts, and I am helped. My heart exalts, and with my song I give thanks. Psalms 28, verse 7. Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, here I am to serve the will of God in carrying this great university on its journey to newer heights. I'm greatly humbled and honored by the trust you have placed in me and the privilege to lead this great university, Uganda Matters University, especially in this period of COVID-19, when all institutions have to learn many lessons in rapid sequence and review their strategies so as to stay in the competition and to remain relevant. Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the honor to be Vice Chancellor of the great Uganda Matters University today comes from the contributions of many. Glory and praise to God, the Almighty, for the favor, mercy, and blessings. Allow me to thank a few people who have made sacrifices over the years and have enabled me to come to this day. I thank my dear wife, Elizabeth Walabichi Chamanywa, our children, Sean and Shanessa, and the wider family for the love, prayers, support during this journey that has on many occasions required that I lived hundreds of kilometers away from home. Thank you for standing with me through it all. In a special way, I wish to thank my mother, who is not in good health today, for the great inspiration and for being a role model. You have taught us to stand for values, to work hard, to protect the truth, and to love humanity. You have modeled us into who we are today, and I pray the Lord continues to bless you generously and have favor upon you. Many thanks to my teachers, mentors, and friends, some of whom have already been introduced, for the guidance, encouragement, and always making sure I kept focused. Like Professor Bagire was commenting, I've not been in books alone. I have also done many other things. Thank you. Thanks also goes to my former employers who allowed me to serve in different capacities in various institutions. Every role and assignment you gave me offered invaluable learning opportunities that have prepared me for who I am today. I take none of this for granted, and I remain forever grateful and indebted to you all. I look forward to further learning during my stay at Uganda Martyrs University. My appreciation would be incomplete if I did not recognize the contribution of the founders of this great Uganda Martyrs University and the three vice-chancellors, Professor Michel Lejeune, Professor Charles Olweny, all represented here by Professor John Chrysostom Mavid, who have been good custodians and have prepared the turf on which we stand. Thank you so much for the vision, wisdom, dedication, and great service that have made this university great today. Thanks too goes to the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Reverend Dr. Christopher Mukidi, who acted as Vice Chancellor before me and has given me good orientation. Stepping in the shoes of such men is not mean feat. But I pledge to continue the journey, building Uganda Martyrs University to an even greater player in the transformation of society. Ladies and gentlemen, like there is a silver lining to every cloud, the COVID pandemic has also been a blessing to the educational sector, giving us a unique opportunity to reflect on, review, and challenge the status quo as regards how we do the business of education and training and what we take to be important. Change is inevitable, but our actions should be not reactionary but intentional. As a university, our emphasis should be on enhancing the development of skills necessary for personal and societal transformation, such as critical thinking, problem solving, lifelong learning, job creation, collaboration among our students and faculty, and building meaningful partnerships. with sister institutions and the community. This inaugural speech gives me the opportunity, a unique one at that, to communicate to you my leadership philosophy, my vision, which now becomes our vision as a university, my hope, which becomes our hope for this great institution. Unfortunately, such functions often come early in our tenure, before we are well grounded in the institution. And so, some of what I might say today might sound like wild dreams. But why shouldn't we dream anyway? Without a dream, one has no drive. And the only thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve is the fear of failure. I therefore have great hope and trust in God and you all that the cause for which we are here today will be accomplished. The future remains unclear, especially taking lessons from the COVID-19 pandemic. But together we stand a great chance to overcome whatever is thrown at us. Uganda Matters University as a community needs every one of us to commit and play our unique and collective roles for it not to only survive but thrive sustainably. My role, therefore, as a team leader is going to be that of a catalyst in this process. As we create the Uganda Matters University we all dream of, so that when we are long gone, history will judge us favorably. My vision is to have a Uganda Matters University as a sustainable university of international repute and a preferred center for education, research and innovation, where students, faculty and staff are able to achieve their fullest potential to influence development and social transformation by the time they graduate. Our staff and students should be thought leaders, knowledge creators and problem solvers, with local and international standing and audience. Ladies and gentlemen, our research should not only see us being ranked among other universities, or getting promoted, or just getting awarded PhDs, and filling our library and repositories. But it should be translated to impact the transformation of societies. That's what will make us relevant as a university. In this pursuit of excellence, it will remain committed to the truth and away among us, so as to support one another in achieving our fullest individual and collective potentials. Uganda Matters University must have a unique brand, one that is relevant to the 21st century society and its development trends. One of my process of defining and consolidating our niche and brand. Thematic areas like leadership, governance and diplomacy, science, technology and innovation, as well as environmental sustainability, and based on my preliminary assessment while here for the last 3 months, Uganda Matters University's niche could be in the following areas: agriculture and change, ICT and engineering, Center of Excellence, our built environment is changing of environment and conscious profession. We want to capitalize on these and more achievements and strategically consolidate them into a widely recognized aspect of Uganda Matters University. In whichever consensus the state we shall honor building a strong and unique brand through promoting a culture of quality and continuous innovation. Engagement of all stakeholders, public, private, and the civil society. Chancellor, distinguished guests, we live in a VUCA world, violent, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. The COVID-19 pandemic, HIV, the Ebola outbreaks, and other global challenges have taught us that we have a greater chance to succeed if we collaborate and can draw on the wider pool of strength and resources available. So, has something to offer in the real life vision and be spectators, but active in building a Uganda Matters University. Ladies and gentlemen, the process of transformation will require that we are ready for to challenge the status quo, the way things are done around here, and in how we pursue our strategic goals. Having been century, we need to get are likely not going to be enough to get us beyond here. This is in addition to the changes by the COVID-19 pandemic and the changing Therefore, Uganda Matters University has to do that. Uganda Matters University already has a great standing. At 29 years now, it is one of the oldest private in Uganda. It has a firm and illustrious whom we recognized as Diamond Ambassadors, Alumni Awards on the 25th. And I can see here Professor Isha, the Vice Chancellor of Kapish, who was one of the recipients of that award, and many others that I not have yet seen. More than 50 universities in the country. However, the landscape is changing fast. and COVID-19 has not made it any easier. Therefore, we need to take stock of what has worked and what hasn't, to determine what must be done differently and what must be discarded. Important variables to reflect on will include broadening and diversification of our funding as a university, the relevance of our programs and how we deliver them, especially given the digital transformation and migration happening today, the development and retention of talent, and how we engage the community. Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to illustrate this, allow me to tell you a short story from Spencer Johnson's book, Who Moved My Cheese? The book has 4 characters, all living in maize and love cheese. 2 mice, Snip and Sky, and 2 humans, and Hope. After usually enjoying cheese for a while, one morning they found cheese had disappeared. Pondering on what could have taken the cheese, the 2 mice soon set off to look for more cheese in the maize. However, Hem and Ho continued to comment on who would have been so malicious to take the cheese and why they had been betrayed. The mice were soon able to rediscover their cheese and thrive again, while Hem and Ho continued to starve, waiting for their cheese to be returned. Later, unable to stand the hunger, Ho decided to go off to hunt for the cheese, while Hem still demanded his cheese back and sat in waiting for it, believing it would return one day. Ho soon found new cheese and found the 2 mice who were quick in adapting to the change were already fully engorged. This story, ladies and gentlemen, tells us that change is constant and can happen at any time. However, we should anticipate it, monitor our environment for the signs, and be quick to adapt so as to continue thriving in the changing environment. We have all heard the phrase, "I don't know, but that's how things are done." This can be a significant deterrent to growth and should always be challenged so as to continuously secure our relevance as a university. If we choose to act decisively and collectively, putting our best efforts, competences, creativity, networks, and intentions together in this environment of continuous change and uncertainty, we are certain to be trailblazers. Therefore, I am boldly optimistic that with the right mix of cooperation from all stakeholders, we can raise Uganda Matters University's ranking to among the top 3 universities within this 5-year term. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let there be no spectators, commentators, but real players on this journey. Whatever the challenges that lie in our way, we shall collectively overcome, relying heavily on your individual and collective contribution, wisdom, counsel, and ownership of the vision. As people who have this great institution at heart, I promise to be a good student and to learn from the entire team. Uganda Matters University should be the place where we all enjoy teaching and learning, working, researching, innovating, and people should enjoy partnering with us. Therefore, it is time for us to harness the opportunities before us. Like was narrated by 2004 Nobel Peace Prize laureate Wangari Maathai in the Hummingbird story, let's all do the best we can. Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, these are the questions we must all reflect on over the coming 5 years. How much of what we do today is actually directed to Uganda Matters University's growth as opposed to only survival? And how much of what we do is contributing to our stagnation or risking our own survival? How do we deliver Uganda Matters University to the world and bring the world to Uganda Matters University? How do we make Uganda Matters University the preferred choice for students? How do we ensure that the students we get will have the best university experience while with us and result into personal transformation, including instilling in them the Uganda Matters University spirit and values so that they are fit for purpose when they graduate? We craft our programs to equip our students with the skills and competences for the fourth and even the fifth industrial revolutions. How do we support our alumni? And how do we engage them in giving back to their alma mater? How do we attract, recruit, resource, reward, and retain the best talent to join our faculty and staff? How do we nurture vibrant debate, research, and innovation teams that will attract partnerships and funding and transform society? How do we cultivate an institutional culture that encompasses a sense of quality, purpose, and non-negotiable values of honesty, integrity, and respect? How do we ensure a sustainable funding to the university's strategic goals and interventions? Ladies and gentlemen, answering these questions will be our daily challenge and the key reason for our loss of sleep. I have received inspiration and encouragement from my interaction with the students, alumni, staff, the former vice chancellors, the council, the Episcopal Conference, and other stakeholders over the last 3 months. I have seen the energy and a real desire to be better and stronger as Uganda Matters University. Let us all unite and take this university to where it deserves to be. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to tell you another short story. This is set in Ireland. Once upon a time, there was a group of young boys who, while on their boyhood adventures, came across a wall that seemed too hard to climb. They were tired and had walked a long distance. They were not about to walk back and around the wall. Fearful that their hats, their caps, hats on head would fall off while attempting to climb the wall, and given that they valued these hats, so boys removed the hats and tossed them over the wall to the side, so that they had no other choice but to follow them. My friends, I see us in this situation now. Uganda Matters University has come so far. We are now faced with the high wall of transformational change to carry 20th success in the 21st century. Therefore, I wish to end my speech by inviting you to come with me. Let's place our hearts over this wall and pursue them. Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I once again wish to thank the Episcopal Conference entrusted with the leadership of this great university. I am humbled by the presence of all of you here and those online, and I do hereby pledge and fully offer myself to the service of Charles University as your fourth Vice Chancellor for the next 5 years. So together, let us pursue our hearts. Let us make a difference. May the Lord give us the wisdom, discernment, courage, and faith while we do this. And may the Ugandans intercede. Virtually et sapere Dumunam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor, that great address that will need a lot of digestion. May I now invite the jazz group once again to make
allow to participate.
me today. Show me the way, one day at a time. Just give me strength to do every day what I have to do. Yes, that is on, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may be mine. Lord, help me today. Show me the way one day. Asking of you, give me strength every day, what I have to do. And yes, time is on, Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. Lord, help me. Show me. To one day
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your presentation. Touching our emotion. Important. That creates a very strong connection with you. Thank you so much. We are getting to the end of this important celebration. We now have 3 people who will speak to us. These will be invited by the Vice Chancellor himself. The first one is the Chairman of the Governing Council, Vice Chancellor.
The Chairman of the Governing Council of Uganda Matters University, the Right Reverend Sanctus Wano, it is now my singular as the newly installed Vice Chancellor to welcome to address.
Patron of this university, our Chancellor, our brand new elected Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, invited guests, the interest of time, allow me to generate my dear brothers and sisters, I did not prepare any speech at this junction. I wanted just to confirm taken by the patron saint, St. Patrick, whom our Vice Chancellor celebrates. I'm impressed by the raising stand taken by the Vice to drive this university to the 21st century, and the deals and the difficulties that the world is facing today, especially in education, wishes various factors, and especially political field, where politics seem not to know where to go, has no reason. It's trying to hold as if there's no education. Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine us now? The world powers up, or the highly educated people we thought can opt for war, destruction, all structures, and here we are facing the 21st century. Our humble university going with this kind of challenge. Where we are heading in
again to invite the Chancellor to give his remarks.
Our Chancellor, it is now my pleasure to welcome you to address us as we are all waiting to hear from the father of this institution. You're welcome, sir.
Father Dr. Safari, no, I'm not stopping you from moving. In his introduction here, he did a wonderful job for me, and so has the Vice Chancellor done. They gave us a detailed protocol of very important people here present. So I only want to say I respect that protocol, and I say protocol observed. My dear brothers and sisters here gathered, I would like to thank you for having come to honor this day and to welcome, receive our new Vice Chancellor, and at the same time wishing farewell, goodbye to the former Vice Chancellor. It is my pleasant duty as Chancellor of Uganda Martyrs University, and on behalf of the Uganda Episcopal Conference, to extend to you, Professor Patrick Edwin Kyamanywa, a warm and a cordial welcome as the new Vice Chancellor of Uganda Martyrs University. I congratulate you on your appointment and want to wish you every success in your position of leadership in our university. Permit me also to express the gratitude of the Uganda Episcopal Conference to your predecessor, Professor Father John Chrysostom Maviri. We are most grateful to him for his contribution to this institution. Prior to his coming here, Professor Maviri was Vice Chancellor of the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, where in Nairobi. And he worked so well while he was there for over 10 years. He is well known for his good work and contribution to the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, Nairobi, where up to this day, a monument, call it a structure, called the Learning Resources Center is attributed to his efforts as the Vice Chancellor. Thank you for making a good name not only for you, but also for Uganda and East Africa. In Uganda Martyrs University, Professor Maviri is known as a calm and diligent worker. He was able to brave the challenges of the university and the effects of COVID-19 pandemic. While the previous speakers were giving us their speeches, I really wondered, because some of the things they were mentioning, I had already written them in this speech. There is no copying at all, because while they were writing, whether here in Nkozi, I was busy working in my room in Mitiana. None of us saw what the other was saying. So we have come here and we have similar ideas somehow. So thanks be to God. So this point, I think, was brought by the head of the student community, which I think was well put. Whereas some universities were compelled to close during the lockdown periods, Uganda Matters University operated through the e-learn system. The achievements of the university cannot be attributed to one individual, and yet we dare, while aware that the Vice-Chancellor is a pivotal person in the institution. We are therefore also grateful to the previous Vice-Chancellors, who include Professor Michel Lejeune and Professor Dr. Charles Orwing. I want to say a few words about our new Vice-Chancellor, and some of the views he presented, I had also already written them in my speech. In fact, I've just whispered to him, I said, don't worry that I've done some Pelagianism, but only that the same Holy Spirit was inspiring us. While I was writing in Mitiana, he was busy writing what he has read to us. On this occasion, allow me also to spell out some of the expectations we have from you, Professor Chamanywa, which we are counting on your bringing to the university where you are now Vice-Chancellor. We are aware of your rich experiences which you have inherited from your previous places of work. We know you spent your medical and academic life in Rwanda and in Bushenyi Medical School, which is part of Kampala International University. As you come to Uganda Matters University, which is locally referred to as a good place to be in, the university is now 29 years old since its foundation in 1993. So, kindly continue to follow in the footsteps of your predecessors as you grow the institution into maturity and success. The motto of Uganda Matters University is Virtute et Sapientia Duc Mundum, meaning in English, in virtue and wisdom lead the world. Uganda Matters University has adopted as its slogan, quote, making a difference, end of quote. Guided by the motto and the slogan, we pray that you will continue building on the foundation of the university founders who started this institution as a means of integral human development, spreading the principles of the Catholic teaching and ethical values, especially integrity and moral uprightness, as taught in the Second Vatican Council in the document Gravissimum Educationis in 1965, which has to do with Christian education. The university was started in time of need and it continues to be the salt and the light of the church and a beacon in the nation. Graduates from Uganda Matters University are well known and well respected for their formation and contribution to nation building. Uganda Matters University today is counted among the top 10 universities in Uganda, and at the last ranking awards, it assumed the 7th position. Besides this, Uganda Matters University has of recent won global awards and made local achievements. Allow me to mention just a few. One, the World Bank Akalise project for agroecology implemented by Uganda Matters University and through which the university additionally acquired a hostel for PhD students from the region and visiting professors. and the Uganda Matters Radio as a Kalise project legacy to the institution. 2. Initiating the program of journalism and mass communication under a reorganized Institute for Languages and Communication Studies. 3. Starting of the Faculty of Law, which is now in its 3rd year. 4th, accreditation of campuses, 4 in 2018 and 1 in 2019. 5th and lastly, with the assistance of the National Council for Higher Education, Uganda Matters University was able to continue conducting instruction during the lockdown periods through ODEL, Open Distance and E-Learning Program. So, Uganda Matters University has as its patrons the Uganda Matters, the 24 men who gave up their lives because of faith, and that way they became witnesses, call them martyrs. These holy persons act as a source of inspiration and guidance for the staff and the students of UMU. Living and witnessing to the faith is of paramount importance in the lives and formation of the members of this institution. As I have stated earlier on, the institution of Uganda Matters University is intended to be the light and the salt of the earth, as our Lord Jesus put it in the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 5, from verse 13 to 16. We pray that the dream of the bishops and other people of like mind continues to live and produce worthy citizens of our nation. As you assume the helm, Professor Chamanywa, the bishops assure you of their unwavering support, and we appeal to the staff here to lend you equal support which you deserve in order to be successful. To the students, we urge loyalty and trust. We are counting on you to continue to increase the student population and the fame of this university, open up partnerships for research and projects both locally and externally, and create at Uganda Matters University a conducive environment for the staff and students. Professor Chamanywa, we encourage you to establish relations with the alumni by involving them in the development, growth, and welfare of the university. This is one of the points I was talking about. I put it down, but he has elaborated it so well. The law faculty building is in progress and relying on contributions from the alumni. Our ideas, some of which I have mentioned, may sound like a tall tower, but with the synergy, cooperation, determination, and the commitment of all, nothing is impossible with the help of God. And prayers of the Uganda Matters will push us very far. If we truly strive to lead the world in wisdom and virtue, nothing can be against us. St. Paul once said it in his letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 31. With the grace of God, let us face the challenges and in confident prayer await the Lord's blessings. Let me conclude by wishing you, Professor Chamanywa and the team, a fruitful ministry in the family of Uganda Matters University at the main and satellite campuses. Lastly, I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor himself. I believe he was involved in organizing this day, the events of this day. And all those who have participated, who have rendered a hand, thank you very much for what you have done. And we pray that Uganda Matters University continues to grow from strength to strength. Those who traveled from far or near, I would wish you a safe journey back home, and please keep Uganda Matters University at heart. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Chancellor. Give him another round of applause for that speech, but also for the very important function that he has led throughout today. We are coming to the end of the celebration. Before us is a cake prepared to commemorate this great celebration today. I will ask the team that is preparing to come forward, and then I invite the people who will help us to cut that cake and share it here. After that, I will announce to you the order of lunch as we have prepared it. So as the officials get prepared, I would like to ask the Vice Chancellor, Professor Chamanywa, kindly stand up. I want to ask your wife and children. I want to ask the Chancellor, the Chairman, Governing Council. I want to ask Professor Maviri, the former Vice Chancellor, Uganda Matters. Professor Bagire, of course, the DVC, the Registrar, and the HR kindly come forward and prepare to cut the cake for us. And the music, find something appropriate to accompany this great ceremony. Okay, so we shall count down from 5. Okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you and happy birthday.
Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me.
You can take your seats now and it shall be helpful.
I want the world to know I'm happy as can be. Who would believe that I could be happy and contented? I used to think that happiness had to be invented, but that was in the bad old days before I met you.
Thank you, thank you. While servers are helping us to prepare the cake for our sharing, I'd like once again to ask this group, LEAK, that's the name of the group, by the way, if you would like to get in touch with this jazz group, it's called LEAK, and I have their card with me here, I have their contact. I'm told that Professor Chamanywa likes many types of songs from your collection. Now, it seems you didn't actually play the one that we thought was most favorite. Are you going to do it now? Yes, we do it while we share the cake. And after that, I make final announcements.
wash away all my pain. Oh, yesterday I know my kingdom awaits. Now forgiven my mistakes, I'm coming home, coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. I'm coming home, coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all my pain of yesterday. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I'm coming home, coming home, coming home, coming home. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. I tell the world that I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits. Don't forgive my mistakes. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. And tell the world that I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Hey, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits. Thou forgiving my mistakes. I'm coming home, coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home.
Thank you very much, Lick and company. We are coming to the end of this celebration. Would like to apologize. There is an important person among us whom we had not recognized, and I would like to thank Dr. Luswata for bringing this to my attention. That's Miss Dorothy Ngalombi. She's the cultural officer at the U.S. Embassy in Kampala. Dorothy, you're most welcome. Where are you? Can you stand up for recognition, please? Most welcome. So we would like to thank once again the Chancellor, the patron, the Chairman of the University Council, the UMU management members, all for gracing this occasion and bringing it to successful completion. Thank you very much. We want to congratulate once again the Vice Chancellor, Professor Patrick Edwin Chamanywa, upon this important achievement and upon also celebrating this on your birthday and on your patron feast day, St. Patrick. We'd like to thank the organizing committee for the installation of the fourth Vice Chancellor of Uganda Matters University. This was headed by the DVC, Dr. Christopher Mukidi, and all the members. Thank you so much for the time you have spent to organize this event. And also to all, this was just organizing committee, but the work was done by all of us. So the others that are not mentioned, but you know that we thank everybody for your active participation. We would like to thank all our guests for honoring our invitation and for giving importance to this great occasion. A special word of thanks, I should have said this, I want to say it now, to our choir. The Chancellor noticed that. The Chancellor has an ear for music. He was my teacher, by the way, so I know he loves special classical music. So he has noticed that several times. Every time he has come here, he has noticed that we have great talent in our choir. Thank you so much for the preparation and for the performance. I want to thank all the media houses once again for bringing the greater community, all communities, to the attention of what has been taking place at Uganda Matters University. We thank the security personnel for being here today and for ensuring our security. A special word of thanks to the students who have come here physically. I know many others have followed online, but those who have made an effort, I'm sure you have been inspired by what you have seen here today. Thank you for coming, and please come again. I want to thank the team that provided us with a public address system. It has worked very well, and we thank you for your dedication. We would like to thank the different cultural groups that have presented to us. You have this jazz group, the Leak group. You have also our own group led by Kariango John Philip. Can you stand up once again? You see what a powerful dancer he can be. He has a lot of energy. And I have his contact here. If you want him and his group, they are very willing to grace your occasions. And then you have the Umgenesa group, which is waiting for us there that will lead the procession back into recession. Exactly, that's it. All right. So now, after the anthems, I will not speak again, so let me do this. After the anthems, let me see. Yes, the registrar will ask. The registrar will ask the chancellor to dissolve the congregation, and then we shall have the anthems that will follow in reverse order. And the procession will go towards to the administration block, but I have been informed that before the officials enter the administration block, there is a tree to be planted in memory of the installation of the 4th Vice Chancellor of Uganda Matters University. So the Umgenesa group that will lead the procession, you will continue down to the place that has been reserved for that tree to be planted by the Vice Chancellor, accompanied by the Chancellor and all the important officials here. And the rest will wait at the block. Once they come back, we take 1 or 2 pictures to mark today's event. Now, then we shall crown all this with lunch. We have 2 serving points. The first one is the main boardroom, and this is where the Vice Chancellor will sit. He will host the following people in the main boardroom, the following groups: the VIPs, the bishops, the members of the management, deans and directors, the family, his family of course, and friends, the alumni of Uganda Matters University, other vice chancellors and registrars who are here, the organizing committee members, and the cozy neighbors. Then the majority of us will meet at the cafeteria in the dining room, where the staff students, police, volunteers, and ushers will be served lunch. There will be people prepared there to give you coupons for getting your lunch. That said, I'd like now to invite the registrar once again to come forward and invite the Chancellor to dissolve the fourth congregation for the installation of the Vice Chancellor of Uganda Martyrs University.
Thank you, MC. May I request all of you to stand up? Your Lordship, the Chancellor, I invite you to dissolve the fourth congregation for installation of the Vice Chancellor of Uganda Martyrs University.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I dissolve the fourth congregation for installation of the Vice Chancellor of Uganda Martyrs University.
Thank you. Give him a round of applause, please. The anthems now.
Umoja wenu ni nguvu. future in thy hand. Unite and free for liberty. Together we'll always stand.
The mace bearer, please come forward and lead the procession, followed by the Chancellor, the Chairman, Governing Council, the Patron, the former Vice Chancellor, the new Vice Chancellor. Kindly follow the mace bearer. Then the members of the management of UMU, follow suit, please. The campus directors, deans of faculties and schools and institutes and directors. Now the Umugenesa group, can you start please and lead the procession? The rest of us, we kindly move to the administration block where we shall take a picture.
Dubai,